I know words. I have the best words.
This is All the Best Words with Matt Murphy and Cameron Smith.
It's September, October, November, not really any of December, but now we got December. That's one of the things the playoff gave us.
Yeah.
It gave us December, meaningful football in December, and then into January.
I like that.
And so we got September, October, November, but that's still a third of the year. So, it's coming though, baby.
It is.
I'm very excited about it. Football season's on the way. Whew. And who knows what word that might bring on All the Best Words. Hey, friends, this is All the Best Words. You know the drill by now. I bring a word. My man Cameron brings a word. And then we discuss said words. That's why we call it All the Best Words. If you don't know me, my name is Matt Murphy, and I say all the best words.
My name's Cameron Smith. I write all the best words.
How's it going?
It's going well. Very well.
You enjoying it?
I am. I'm very hot in the summer in the South. It's not quite August hellish, but we're getting there.
I thought about bringing a word associated with my hatred of how weather people are doing heat index now.
Mm.
They are basically in the summer they just to hell with the normal temperature. We'll gloss over the fact that it's going to be 94 today, but we're really going to focus on the fact that it's going to feel 102. And I frankly don't like them telling me how to feel about things.
Why do we have to introduce feelings into everything?
I know.
I think we should be more anti-feeling. That is, I don't know what happened to our culture, but we're like, how can we inject feelings into things like recipes?
Well, I remember, and I think you probably do too, when this became a thing where the weather person would say, in the South, while it's going to be 94 degrees, it's going to feel a lot harder because of this heat index. And that means that there's a lot of humidity in the air. And that was just it.
Yes.
But now it's like, the real feels. And I want to slap every person, every human being that says real feels in a non-ironic way needs to get slapped.
I just want to tell, my offspring that feeling you have, that's pain, is weakness leaving the body. Right. That's what we're doing here.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just pain.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so to prevent any further pain, let's get on with the words of the day. I'll let you go first if you'd like.
Sure. My word, it comes with a post on X too. My word is deputy. It's very exciting word, deputy.
Deputy.
As in Deputy United States Attorney Todd Blanche. I'd love to comment on this, but I just want to read it instead.
Okay, sure.
Here's what he posted on X. Justice demands courage. For the first time, the Department of Justice is reaching out to Ghislaine Maxwell, I think that's how you say her first name, to ask, what did you know? At the Attorney General's direction, I've contacted her counsel. I intend to meet with her soon. No one is above the law, and no lead is off limits. What? That? Huh? You mean to tell me?
She got prosecuted, right?
Right.
She's serving a sentence
by federal prosecutors.
Okay, sure.
That work for
the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Serving a sentence. And I'm old enough to remember the theater of Epstein Files Phase 1, the notebooks.
Right.
And
those came with hats, by the way.
They did. It's good. You want to have your swag coordinated when you do
like
publicity.
Multicolor. There was a black one, there's a red one, there's a white one.
You need to do those stunts. Okay. So you mean to tell me the one living person who might have direct knowledge of the comings and goings of powerful people related to the Jeffrey Epstein situation because, well, he's dead and can't tell us anything. You're talking to her for the first time soon. This to me is, I'm actually kind of mad because there was a campaign here that I supported of transparency in government. I'm like, oh, man, this is exciting. I'm excited for the Trump folks to come in and really stop this practice of, well, we know, but we can't tell you. We got to protect you from knowing stuff. That there would be aggressive transparency. It's so aggressive that we had the Speaker of the House stand up there and say, well, the Democrats are doing all of these things. No, he decided to adjourn Congress early because it was Republicans who were going to force a vote on releasing this stuff.
And why wouldn't they?
That's a great question, Matt.
Why not just do it? Why not just do that?
Right.
I don't understand I'll choose to believe that it's not specifically Donald Trump, because I don't really think that Donald Trump is implicated in these files necessarily, in as much as I truly believe that if there was something directly implicating Trump, that the Biden people, as ridiculously ineffective as they were, would have found it and
Sure.
would have released it in their 4 years. But what's wrong? I mean, you're right. To look in front of the American people and face the television camera and say, hey, for the first time, we're going to be talking to
The
Ghislaine
person at
Maxwell.
the center of this.
Right, the one human being that can provide testimony in a court of law that's not hearsay.
Right.
Right? She's the one person, we believe, outside of the victims, that could look at a jury and say, I saw Prime Minister X, or I saw Prince Abdullah X, or whoever it is
Right.
on the island with a kid. That one person, you haven't bothered to talk to her yet?
Nope. But they'll talk to her soon.
But they'll talk to her soon. I do believe that what we are seeing, the fact that Trump said, yeah, we're going to direct the DOJ to ask the judge to release grand jury testimony. They've done that. We're going to direct the DOJ to release anything they can. The Pam Bondi comments, and then the Assistant Deputy Attorney General. I think it's indicative of the Trump team understanding that this is bigger with his base than they initially wanted to believe.
Yeah.
I mean, because initially they said there's more, you heard Trump.
Yeah.
There's bigger things to do, more important things to do. We just need to leave all this behind. And the base is like, no, we're not going to.
No.
And I
Just
think
no.
an America that expects transparency. Now, the liberals are just using this.
Of
I mean,
course.
obviously, this became and I find it fascinating, and it makes me sick to my stomach that the political left and their representation in mainstream media, they didn't speak at all about this during the Biden administration. They didn't speak at all about it for the first 4.5, 5 months of the Trump presidency. But when it became obvious to them that this was a potential Trump liability, then it became front page news.
Yeah, and some things are 80% issues that the American people, like immigration's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Like the transgender stuff, one of those. Like there are issues where the majority of Americans like, we want transparency in government. We just do, right? And this one drives me nuts because there's only two possible things that happened here. Either there's a cover up for the rich and powerful, or there's not really anything there, and this is kind of unexciting.
This
But-
has always been ginned up in conspiracy
Right.
circles from the beginning.
Sure.
Right, sure.
Those are basically your two options. On the one hand, big bad cover up. On the other hand, massively unforced political error. And either one is not good. We need to get to a resolution there. My word is deputy.
I like the word deputy. My word is going to be threat, as in threat to democracy. And it's a favored refuge of the political left when things are happening that they don't care for. And really, I don't recall hearing this very much prior to Trump. And I know we give Trump has moved the needle on a lot of things. He's shaken the way that we talk about politics. He's shaken the way that politics goes on in Washington, D.C., for better and for worse in
Yes.
some cases. But liberals like to run to the threat to democracy phrase when I feel like they have nothing else. Suddenly, border security is a threat to democracy. Following the rule of law when it comes to immigration is a threat to democracy. Everything that Donald Trump does is in some way a threat to democracy. But I think over the last week and a half, we've reached a new and interesting low when it comes to threat to democracy. So for those who don't know, Paramount is in the midst of a merger. I don't even know who they're mergering with. Do you know who they're mergering with someone? And they need government sign-off on the merger. And so they've got to get their books as best as their books can be, and there's a lot of things going on. Well, that is happening. Simultaneous to that happening, Paramount is looking at those business models that they control, including on CBS television, and trying to figure out what doesn't work anymore. And they decided to cancel The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. They're not firing Stephen Colbert. They're just not doing the show anymore. I think there was another show called The Late Late Show with that British guy that eventually just went away because there wasn't money for it. It's my understanding that, just to give you a little background, that show, The Late Show, you know how many people work on that show? Have you heard?
100.
200.
Wow.
200 people. And it costs, I've heard cost estimates anywhere from $110 million to $200 million a year to run. Lower end, upper end. What is not in dispute is that for the last 2 years, they've run at a $40 million deficit for 2 years running. They've lost $40 million a year for 2 years.
Cool.
CBS, last I checked, Paramount, last I checked, is in the business of making money. And so they're like, this is not making money anymore. We recognize that the way of the world is going away from these late night talk shows.
Right.
And so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of it. And the left has decided that because of that Paramount merger, that Donald Trump is responsible, with no
Obviously.
evidence whatsoever,
Obviously.
that Donald Trump's responsible for getting Stephen Colbert canceled. And oh, by the way, they say, oh, Donald Trump did this, but Donald Trump's powerful enough to get Paramount to agree to fire Stephen Colbert, but he's going to be on the air until next May. So y'all riddle me that. He's powerful enough to get him fired, but he's not powerful enough to get him fired now.
But not powerful enough to get the Wall Street Journal or Rupert Murdoch to kill the story. Like, my
Right.
point is, make up your mind. You're saying mutually exclusive things.
Right.
I mean, come
Right.
on.
He can't make the Wall Street Journal not run the Epstein stuff,
Right.
but he can make Paramount, and he made Paramount pay him $30 million in a settlement with CBS. I mean, so yeah, I mean, he goes back and forth from being, unable to contain all of this to being the most powerful man on planet Earth and working
Well, the left
40
right
channels.
now just cannot figure out. They love dying on hills, but they can't figure out which ones to die on. So they're like, you know what we should do? Die on all of them. And this is ridiculous. I mean, Colbert. So the other headline related to this is that there's a simultaneous $1.5 billion deal with the creators of South Park for more of their content. So if Stephen Colbert had tried doing things like being funny and entertaining, maybe there was
Right.
an opportunity there.
One of the more offensive shows in a hilarious way that has been over the last 20 years. Paramount signed like a syndication deal where
Yes.
they're going to own all of the South Park property and be able to syndicate it. $1.5 billion. So apparently they have money if they believe something's going to make them money.
Right.
But they don't have any more money for things that don't. And, we could get into the whole aspect of why Stephen Colbert decided that he was going to walk into he decided that he was going to alienate half of his potential audience
Yes.
from the beginning.
Yes.
And you don't have to trust me. Go back to Johnny Carson did an interview with Mike Wallace back on 60 Minutes way back in the day in the late 70s, early 80s. And he spoke directly to this. I guess it was when Reagan was in office because Mike Wallace asked him about Ronald Reagan. And he's like, why in the world would I walk into a room of 100 people and tell 50 of them that they don't matter?
Yep.
He said, instead, why don't I joke and in a good-humored way bring all of them, or at least as many of them, to me as I possibly can. And the left has decided that's not the way they're going to go. And then they're shocked and amazed when it doesn't work out for them.
And you're absolutely right that the idea of threat to democracy is what people say when they don't have an argument, because that's just basically me saying, I don't like a thing. Well, the real threat to democracy is this notion of, if you don't like things that I like, well, you're a political problem. Like, we got to get over that. We've got to be like, hey, Colbert isolated half his audience, wasn't funny, and was losing money. Okay, cool. There are other things out there that we can invest in that offend everybody. Like, there are options here, but this it's my way or the highway. The left has done it for too long, and it's starting not to work for them.
Well, and here's the great thing. I mean, when you go back to the threat to democracy piece and the belief that Donald Trump's behind all of this, Stephen Colbert, nobody's killing him. He can go on how many platforms?
Matt, that's coming next.
How many platforms are available for him?
Hey, democracy dies in darkness. You know that, Matt.
That's true. Democracy's on the ballot. Democracy is the ballot, you idiots. That's going to wrap it up for All the Best Words. I had fun.
Me too.
There's Cameron Smith. I'm Matt Murphy. We'll see you next time on All the Best Words.